I ain't mad at that. Maybe
put that together, and then people just ran to it. Like
I wonder if it was something organic in terms of him just wanting to, like, you know what, this is what
absolutely not. I don't think
you don't
so.
think
You
so?
think it was planned?
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
But think about it, but usually,
Chris Brown and 10 dancers.
No. When I say organic, I mean like in terms of like he just felt like, you know what, I should do this, as opposed to like them sitting in the room. Okay, what can we make viral? Because to your point, usually you wait to see what people respond to before you start doing that.
Yeah.
Or did he just, you know what, I like, this is what I feel. I want to do this dance to this song right here. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to them just kind of testing the waters and throwing something at the wall. Because if you Chris Brown, you got nothing to lose because you'll have a certain level of success either way.
Oh yeah, of course.
If you tell your fans to do a dance, they're gonna do the dance.
They're gonna do the dance.
Even if it don't blow up huge, you're gonna get a certain amount of traction just because it's you.
I agree.
So did he just say, you know what, I like this. I want to do a dance to this part of the song. I'm just really feeling it. That's what I mean by organic, as opposed to like.
I wonder. I think that's a good point. Something tells me that from a marketing standpoint, he knows the importance of a great rollout. He also knows the importance of a ticking time clock. He also knows that the Grammy window is closing and he's got a new project getting ready to come out.
That's true.
He also knows he needs this thing to pick up as much momentum as it can in a very short period of time, almost to where he can't leave that in the hands of the social media stratosphere. And so, but maybe the part of the song that he's doing that did happen organically. Maybe one of his choreographers came up with the dance routine. And when it got to that part, he was like, okay, what we doing right here, this part crazy. That's the part we need to, because I mean, the first time I saw it was on his page. He posted him and the dancers behind him, all of them doing that dance. Now, don't get me wrong. Like today I saw, so even if that was organic, like today I saw there's this little group of African kids that they be having learn choreography or dance to certain songs. And at this point, everybody knows it's a marketing ploy. They literally like pay
to do it.
Yeah. And so I saw them doing it today. I said, okay, well, they're in a full-blown marketing campaign at this point. Yeah. But it's already like everybody's doing it. Like it's a bunch of people doing it with their parents, black and white.
That's the new trend now too. Is like get your grandma to do it.
Yeah, right.
You know, literally, look at this grandma doing it.
Literally, yeah. There's a white guy. His dad is like 70, and him and his dad is doing it. Yeah,
that's what they do now. Right. That's what they do.
And so some of it you can tell is just organic. Like Lil Bow Wow's daughter did it, and then the mom turned around and did it. You could tell that was probably organic, but like these little African kids and this white dude and his dad, like the setup is just too clean. You like that's part of a marketing campaign.
You're probably right. Nah,
but maybe that part of the song, maybe even the fact that they recorded it to just show, maybe that was organic. But I think once they saw that they had something, they was like, let's just run with this and see.
So what's the lesson for like independence? Because I always try to see what the big artists do. If on an independent level, we can do that maybe on a smaller scale, but still get the same type of effect within our stratosphere.
That's a great question because I want to see that happen and I haven't seen it happen yet. And I think that a lot of times maybe resources, but I think the independent has got to find a way to put together that kind of campaign around their releases. And I haven't seen anybody really do it. Like I know you can go on like Fiverr or there's a couple other sites that you can go on and people are selling their services of dancing. Like I'm a dancer, send me your song, I'll dance to 30 seconds of your song for X amount of dollars. I don't see independents doing that. But that's clearly what the labels are doing. But you can do it as an independent. I just don't know that we, as independents, always believe that we have the same opportunity to go viral with a dance as a major act. And maybe that's why we don't do it, but it's definitely a way to expand and broaden your marketing and promo.
Yeah, and when you say who is the authority of going viral in terms of like who can measure that? Like, is there like are there levels to going? Of course, you have to have a certain number of reposts and shares to consider going viral. But is there like a level below that? Like, is there layers to it? Because
That's a good point.
I'm asking because as independents, we have to kind of have our expectations a little bit. And a win for independent might be terrible for Chris Brown. Right?
Let me tell you something. I have artists that I work with. If their average post is usually 200, 300, 400 views, if they have a post that's 1,000, to me that's viral.
Okay, because
for them it's exponentially more than what their usual traffic was.
Right.
So if your usual traffic is 300 and this post did 1,000 for you, right, on your level, like you said, that's viral for you.
So for me,
you can build on that.
So for me, I'm thinking, are there things that you can do that's in the spirit of what a major artist does to get your 400, 4,000 view post? Whereas for them, they're looking for 4 million, 40 million. They're looking,
right.
How can I get 4,000 using that same type of strategy?
Yeah.
And obviously, when you think about going viral, you don't have to go quote unquote viral to get 400 views, right?
Right.
But how can we consistently get, to your point, for I'm just saying, not me literally, but for me, let's say that's a win, 400 views consistently. How can I employ these strategies on my level? Because I want us to learn from this stuff. I want us to, when we have these discussions, it's cool to talk about it, but how can we adapt it to our everyday grind?
Yeah, how do we apply it?
So that we can get these results? And then hopefully, of course, one day grow to be on Chris Brown's level. But how do we do that now? Can you pay somebody, maybe you pay them a smaller fee and maybe they only do 10 seconds. I don't know the rules, but I mean, what's the rules for this?
Well, I don't think there's any rules. I think you can do a lot of this on a smaller scale than what that can emulate what the big artists are doing today. Yes. So when you think about how can I get someone to create a viral or a dance to my song in hopes that the dance goes viral, I mean, just use user-generated content. Like that's a big part of, or at least it should be, a big part of somebody's marketing when they're doing a song rollout is user-generated content. Having other people maybe react to it, dance to it, comment on it, duet it, something where they are participating in the content that you release. And not only does it show that people are interested in your content, but it also shows that it can reach a broader mass of people because now you have more audience or more people watching based upon everybody else's generated content.
Right.
And they're posting it on their Instagram, their TikTok, and then they can start to go what we would call viral, I guess, in that type of sense.
Marginally viral. Viral for you.
For you.
Yeah. If your average is 200, you got a post that get 800. Technically for you, that did go viral.
That's right.
Because it was exponentially over what your average traffic was.
That's right. And so there's tactics and things that they can employ that will help them to utilize those same type of strategies that they could do on a lower scale, right? I know as we're talking about it, I think that's a good topic to get into. At least it segues into something that LaRussell was talking about, which I think was critically important, and how that ties into this whole thing, right? So he was talking about artist ownership and what artists can do to own a lot of their content, a lot of their revenue, their platform, things like that, right? And so to kind of give them a understanding of what that was is LaRussell didn't invent the backyard concert. He popularized it. I don't think he invented it, right? I just see that as, and that's how people know LaRussell because they know him for a lot of music and stuff like that, but he did a lot of concerts in his backyard. and had mass people there in his backyard putting on shows. He still does it today, right? So that became his platform for reaching his audience. He owns that. He can charge people a fee, but why can't a independent artist do the same thing? Maybe it's their living room though. Maybe it doesn't have to be your backyard. Like I always tell the story that my cousin who lives here as well, he did a whole concert in his living room, had the lights, fog machine, the mic, everything in his living room. Live streamed it on Facebook. I mean, he could have charged, but he did it for free. But why not do that? Why not invite people over and then have those people create a hashtag, have people, hashtag it, take pictures, post on their social media. I think
that's
the creativity
something that we're gonna do for Ashley King's project.
Yeah,
in my living room.
Yeah,
and you're gonna produce it for us.
I'm gonna bring some cameras.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring some lights.
Yes,
right. I got bicolored lights. I got multicolored lights.
Yeah, I've seen your work. It's good stuff.
Yeah. And then you could just we dim it down some, and make it.
There are there's a template. There's a template, like you said. If you see the majors do it, how can you then turn around and apply that? Jasmine Sullivan, she's got she did like the whole album in what looks like someone's living room, a live concert version of it. Her has done the same thing. There's one other person who's done it where they basically use a living room type setting.
You own your living room, I'm assuming, whether it's an apartment or whether it's a house.
And then that content, it grows beyond just somebody streaming your project. So
I think it's the creativity that's missing that I think artists should employ, that creativity and innovation to think about, well, I saw Chris Brown do that. How can I do it? Let me make a dance to my song and let me post it, or let me get some friends over. Let me call 5 of my closest friends and we're going to I created this dance. I'm going to take video of each of them doing it. They're going to post it on their social media. And then we may do it as a collective group. They may do it individually, but we're going to do something that can start to generate views in relationship to that song. Because it's not just about recording the song, putting it on streaming platforms, and then it's like, okay, cool, I'm done.
That is literally the reason why I started my company, was because that's what independent artists were doing. It was like, it took me so long to get the song to the point where the song was done, and I got the song finally mixed and mastered, and now I got cover art for it, and now I just want to get it out, and now it's out. It's on all platforms, guys. And then the crickets.
Streaming platforms. That's because they're not doing
anything
like,
with it. I'm spent. Woo.
Not doing anything with it.
You gotta come up with these different concepts and marketing and promotion that's gotta happen. As hard as it seems like it is to get music to the completion point, the harder job is to then market that music and promote that project beyond the release week or even the release month, but to be able to stick with the song that you believe in for an extended amount of time and find different ways to promote it.
Man, I promoted my album for 5 years. It's the only one I ever made, but still, it was 5 years.
When the next one coming, B?
I don't know. I need to do that. I'm thinking about a new R&B album. Like, tripping. I already got 2 songs made for it though, but I have really been thinking about this R&B album. But I actually did promo, like, and I think that's what people don't think about. I did a whole bunch of stuff for that album release. I had to pay money for a lot of it, but I went to Yangaroo and did the whole Yangaroo thing where they can send it out to the different radio stations. And it got actually played on radio. I try to hit up as many DJs as possible through like DJ record pools, and DJs picked it up and they played it on their terrestrial or satellite or internet radio station.
Yeah.
I actually did interviews. I came down to Atlanta and did an interview with Tampa Mystic. I did an interview with somebody else And that way it was on their radio station, on their platform.
Mm-hmm.
I had a homie of mine come and take footage. So then I could take that footage and post it up.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's the
stuff.
The stuff.
That's what
the stuff.
That's the stuff that has to happen in order for your music to truly mean something.
I did a live listening party where I had people who were part of the album. I had my engineer come, a couple of friends of mine back in St. Louis. We set it all up in my basement, had some beverages. They all sat and listened to it. I did it online. I streamed it on Facebook. I had people that were listening on Facebook.
Yeah.
Why not?
All these things can be done by anybody. All these things can be done. Literally, some of the things that you're saying are the same things that we've done with Ashley King's project. And if you did it 5 years ago, those same marketing techniques still can be effective and still can apply.
Still work today.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
Tory Lanez made a killing off of doing live YouTube videos during quarantine.
Yeah. Why can't you do? I ain't trying to say do what we did, but you could. Like, I'm not holding the keys to the kingdom. Like, why not sit and talk and do a video for each song that's on your album and talk about the meaning behind the song and put it out?
Yeah. I remember like watching Genius and being like, man, I really would like to be on Genius. And I thought, well, shoot, if Genius won't come to me, why can't I do my own?
If Tiny Desk won't come to me,
and I just do my own.
Just do my own Tiny Desk. If it ain't coming to me, let me just do my own.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Just do my own.
And I'm going to do it.
Every independent's got to have that mindset.
Got to have that mindset. So let's take
LaRussell's point, because LaRussell was like, I need someone to do my music. He calls it at the pergola. Yeah. He like, we gonna perform at the pergola.
Because so here's what LaRussell was talking about, right? So he was really talking about artist ownership, right? So let me read the description. Y'all know exactly set the context for this thing. So Bay Area rapper entrepreneur LaRussell is pioneering a powerful model in music industry, one built on ownership, community, and decentralized infrastructure. Through his collective Good Company, because it was Good Company, but it's Com and Penny. Good Company. I think that's how it's spelled, right? Com and Penny. That's yeah. I just want to make sure I get it all right. Yeah. He empowers artists to retain ownership of their art, engage fans directly through pay what you want pricing. It's kind of like reminds me like those hot dog stands that you go to, and then you could like just put money in and pay what you probably want for the hot dog, and it could be over the amount or the exact amount.
I ain't never seen a hot dog stand like that.
I
ain't never seen that before.
I like hot dogs. I'm trying to figure out where that's
trying to figure out where that's at.
I ain't never seen that.
Right? Things like crowdfunding. You should be doing that, profit sharing, and even hosting events in his own backyard. His innovations challenge the traditional label-dominated model, offering a blueprint for independent creators to build sustainable careers rooted in authenticity and self-empowerment. That's a lot. That's where your ownership comes from, though. Taking these things into your own hands, figuring out how to do it, and doing it. I'm telling, like, y'all,
it's a form of vertical integration. I learned that when I was in college. Like, where you.
That's right.
Where you own the streams to get to the end user. Right. You got the end user over here who enjoys the music, and instead of having like a distributor or in LaRussell's case a venue, you're gonna own all those streams from the manufacturing. You know, I used to want to own plants to make CDs. This is back before streaming. I used to want to have my own CD manufacturing plant. You know, I manufacture the CDs, I manufacture the artwork, I get me a network of stores, and I distribute to the stores myself. So everything is, I wanted to control everything.
That's right.
And that's a form of vertical integration. And I think I heard a clip where LaRussell talked about how come, you know, we don't own marketing agencies and PR agencies and PR firms and all that. And I agree with most of that. I think that you don't got to own everything, because if that's not your core competency, you don't need to necessarily own a PR company if you don't know PR. Right. However, somebody from our community who is artist friendly should be able to own some of those companies anyway. You know, kind of like a for us by us kind of model. We should have a stake as a culture in promoting booking agencies, venues, you know, instead of having like Live Nation rape the customers over and over again.
Right.
So yeah, I think vertical integration is definitely something that I've always been interested in.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because you're owning, as they would say, the soup to nuts, right? The beginning to the end. And you may not own everything in there, but at least you have access probably to some of those things in that infrastructure. Like, we shoot this podcast here in my house. I don't have a building, right? So I don't have to pay somebody to do, rent, electricity,
overhead.
I mean, I got to pay people to do electricity.
I mean, technically, you got overhead.
I got overhead,
but it's controllable.
It's very
it's
controllable.
A multi-use space.
That's right.
In your case.
That's right.
And that's where indies got to be creative with how they. I mean, you can't get more creative than deciding instead of a venue, I'm gonna do this in my backyard. I mean, the weather's good pretty much year round in LA. So
let me just
And speaking of vertical integration, let me give a little bit of free game right here.
Let's do it.
All right, I've talked about this before, but I'm tired of all these artists complaining about the streaming payouts. Nobody's gonna be downloading music anymore. Like, that's not gonna be the thing. So stop trying to force people to download your music. Cut it out. Why not just stream your own stuff on your own platform and charge whatever you want to charge from stream your music? Because let me tell you something. I'm gonna stream most of the time. I might buy a vinyl. You could push vinyl maybe. CDs, I doubt it. Why not charge, especially if you got a fan base? What would they pay? What, $1, $2 a month, something to stream your catalog? And that way you keep most of that money. Because everybody complaining about Spotify charging, $10, $15 a month, and you getting pennies. Okay, well, stream your own stuff. Set up, get with some tech people to figure out how to set it up properly, right? Get your music. So you know what? Instead of you gotta buy my song,
right?
Pay me $4 a month, and you get my whole catalog plus exclusives that you won't get nowhere else.
I mean, that's the premise of having like a Patreon, right?
Exactly,
And,
but but nobody. I'm tired of all these artists trying to force us to go and pay $10 for a digital download to clog up my phone that I'm already limited on space with.
I mean,
cut it out.
I mean, having a Patreon or at least some type of membership model is going to be, I'm telling y'all right now, that is going to be the way to be. That is the way to go.
But stream your music. Like,
stream your music too.
Instead of fighting streaming, just join in on it. And
why not?
Keep the money yourself.
And you can do so many different things through like a Patreon
or OnlyFans.
Oh, here we go. Here the OnlyFans.
Or
got pastors on there. Right?
You put your money on it. You put your songs on your OnlyFans, and people want to listen to the songs that go to your OnlyFans.
Or of myrappername.com. Do your own.
Do your own.
Like, because again, I know this from, I sell stuff on eBay, Poshmark, Amazon. The fear is always, what if they kick you off? These platforms can kick you off anymore. OnlyFans can be like, you know what? You violated so-and-so, you're done. Right. Or whoever else. So at the end of the day, again, get with the tech person and make your own.
Yeah. That becomes the challenge though, right? Again, I'm going to say this again. It's the whole reason why I started the company, Smart Cadence Media, is because sometimes a creative is exactly that. And so the business, the administration, the marketing, the promotion, they don't have the patience. They don't have the time because maybe they're working a full-time job in order to even be able to afford to do their artistry in their part-time, but they don't have something that will allow them to be consistent, the wherewithal, the determination to continue to do something that they have to individually manage. That's how DistroKid and TuneCore and all them, that's how they're getting over on the independent is because they're providing a service. And I guess you can't, in all fairness, you can't say they're getting over because they're providing a service that the independents don't want to do. Smart Cadence Media exists because independents don't want to promote their music after they make it. It exists because they're not making sure that their administrative stuff is taken care of. The credits are correct. And so to your point, we can keep it in the community. So I'm a creator servicing creators, but sometimes it's just harder for you to wear multiple hats and give the best version of yourself, especially as a creator. I know some creators that are like, I don't want to see no paperwork. I don't want to do it. I just want to make my songs. It's like you can,
But these are the
you
same
can't
ones that
do
operate that
These
way.
are the same
Cannot.
ones that complain about Spotify payouts.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They
100%.
complain about
Yes,
complain
sir.
about this, complain about that, and it's like
Absolutely.
Exactly. Same ones.
Yes, and they're the same ones that think that the end all be all is the streams. It's like, okay,
It's not.
I know I could go and do whatever on my social media, but what my streams looking like?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's just a small piece of what it takes in order for your music to create a fan base. And so independents have got to know that and understand that it's a multi-layered scenario. LaRussell understood that.
He understood from the very beginning. He understood that. He understood how to take ownership of the things that he had control within.
Yeah.
And whatever the things that he could not do, he outsourced those to competent people, organizations, staff
team
that could. And then he eventually built a team that allowed those individuals to perform those particular functions where he could then concentrate on other things, right? And I'm sure he's putting together the backyard events, but he is not himself putting together the backyard events.
Not
right?
anymore.
Not anymore.
And I mean, you got to find people that sometimes you can't afford to hire somebody right away. You got to find people that will rock with you until you can get to that point where either you can pay them or you can afford to pay someone else.
That's right.
But you got to be willing to put in that work. And he was able to find a community of people. A lot of them did work for nothing initially, or he used his full-time job to pay his partners so they would help him with his projects until, his projects were able to basically put him at a point where he could at least break even.
Yep.
And that could segue into his relationship with the platform, even that he also has used to sell.
Yeah, now he's at a
tickets on.
Now he's at a space where he can do that.
But he has signed to a label, right?
Oh yeah.
Or at least he.
I think it's at least from a distribution perspective.
I think so. I think he's actually in
a
partnership. I'll call it.
Yeah, I think so. But I like his point because it goes back to figuring out what you can own.
Yeah.
It within that infrastructure, right? If you don't own the venue and the venue costs way too much, figure out another venue. Maybe it's your living room. Maybe it's figuring out how you can partner with a person who has a space. And then maybe there's some type of bartering that happens between you and that other person. Maybe you are skilled in a particular area where you can offer a service to that person in exchange for allowing you to do X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Right? You got to figure those things out. And I think that's where a lot of artists and music creatives fail, is the fact that they don't try to figure it out. It's just, well, I can't do it. Well, no, you can. Have you utilized your resourcefulness? And I feel like I'm teaching a leadership class now. Have you utilized your resourcefulness and initiative to really figure it out?
Right.
If they won't let you do this, and whoever they is, then how can you figure it out? Right. I love the movie. It's Apollo 11, right? That's the name. Oh, no, I think it's 17. I don't think it's Apollo 11 with Tom Cruise and
Apollo 11.
Was it Matthew McConaughey?
I know it's Apollo 13.
Yeah, Apollo 13. Yeah. I say I love the movie, but then I get the name of the movie wrong.
Okay.
Right. But the movie I know.
Ocean's 11.
It's Ocean's 11 and Apollo 13.
Oh, Ocean's 11.
Because they got stuck in space.
Yes.
Right. And there was a lot of things that was happening.
Yeah, that was Apollo 13.
Yeah, Apollo 13. A lot of things that were happening that could have led to their demise, but they had to figure it out. They were putting square pegs in round holes in that real event to figure out how to get the CO2 levels down so they wouldn't die. Right. And how to get this thing to work so they wouldn't die. But they had to figure it out. Yeah. In that case, it was life threatening for them. But what is it really for you? What is it really costing you as an independent artist? I mean, you're in this music game for a reason, right? And are you really going to put all of your umption into making it work? And if you're not, I think you're going to have a hard time because it ain't going to just come to you. You got to put work in.
Yeah. I mean, it's not everybody else's fault.
It's not. It's
They
not
like to
Spotify's
say
fault.
that. It's not Spotify's fault.
It's not Apple Music's fault. Tidal's
Sometimes
fault.
the music's not good. Sorry.
That's subjective, though.
That's
right?
I was about to say, I'm like, that's subjective.
Sorry.
Because
That's true.
I
You're
feel
right.
like, I feel like with the right determination, anybody could find some fans, man. Because it's a big world out here, man, and somebody gonna rock with that probably.
Somebody,
People stream the craziest stuff, man. You just got to find your audience. Now, to your point, if the less generally pleasing it is, I guess,
if it's an acquired taste,
Yeah,
it's
if
going to
it's-
be a smaller group that you're going to find.
yeah, and it's gonna be
It's going
hard.
to take you longer to find them.
There you go.
And it's going to be less of them.
But how bad do you want it, though? How bad do you want it? You know what I'm
how
saying?
bad do you want it? How bad do
real
you
bad.
want it? Right? It reminds me. I told you I went to the podcast summit
Mhm.
not too long ago, which was actually super dope. I enjoyed it. I met a couple of people there. I didn't meet a whole lot of people, but one of the things that ended up happening during the podcast summit was some guy got up there to speak. He talked about how he worked with E.T., E.T., the hip hop preacher, and so you got to want it as bad as you want to breathe, right? Yeah. So the guy was up there talking. He was like, "Yeah, I went up to E.T. At a conference, like, yeah, I'm gonna be your right hand man." E.T. was like, "Okay, cool, let's go." He said, "Meet me here at 5:00. Bring a.m. Bring a pad. We about to get to work." He went to the guy. Said he showed up. E.T. came there and was like, "Hey." He said he thought E.T. was going to give him like this the words of wisdom, right? The keys to the kingdom. He said E.T. told him, he was like, "Stop having sex." And the dude was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, stop having sex." He said E.T. left. And the dude was like, "What does that even mean?" He said E.T. came back and told him, he was like, "Look, we about to go these heights." And he said, "What takes men down? Sex." He said, stop having sex." And so the dude was on stage telling the story. He was like, "Yeah, I was supposed to talk today, but I was talking to E.T. earlier. E.T. was like, 'Yo, I'm in Atlanta.'" He said, "So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, E.T." And he came out and he literally did a whole sermon about podcasting, but on purpose and stuff. But it just reminded me when I saw him, you got to really want whatever it is you're going after as bad as you want to breathe. If you're just playing around, I don't know how much success you're going to find in that.
Just expect the results to match your effort.
To match your effort. How much you put in is what you're going to get out.
That's it right there. Expect the results to match your effort.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. That's the podcast, y'all.
That's it. That's it.
Like, that's what you need to succeed right there. That's it right there. Because that's it. I like that, man.
Yeah. Kind of in that same vein, did y'all see the thing about Ellie Reid? So there was a clip that I saw with Ellie Reid, right? Talking about Black-owned boutique businesses, right? And so in case y'all don't know, music industry legend Ellie Reid recently spoke out about a critical gap in the music business, the near disappearance of Black-owned boutique record labels. He highlighted how these smaller, culturally driven entities once nurtured talent and offered authentic representation, yet today that infrastructure has largely vanished. He also noted their absence from major recognition platforms like the Grammys, emphasizing that major label dominance has sidelined voices deeper in our communities. And so he, as indie artists look for genuine support and representation, L.A. Reid observed all of us to kind of think about who will champion Black creativity if not ourselves.
Yeah. You know, L.A. Reid said something in an interview maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago that really stuck with me. When he started, I think this might have been before he started Hitco. I think he was still at Epic, I believe, at this time. Yeah, it had to be. And he was signing who did he sign? He signed Big Boy as a solo artist.
Mm-hmm.
And he signed somebody else. And his point was, I want to be a place to where these Black legacy acts have somewhere to go to get major label treatment. Because a lot of times when an artist who's a legend kind of phases out, they're not as popular anymore, they have to go independent, right? They have to go smaller and they don't really, they kind of fizzle away, even though they still have more to give. And his point was, yeah, they might not have the big budgets, but we're going to treat them with give them the major label rollout. And I think he said he wanted, I'm paraphrasing, of course. he was saying he wanted every legend to have somewhere to go. You know, when they got, as opposed to just not having nowhere to go. So, and I think this is kind of in the same vein what he's talking about. You know, because we kind of eat them up and spit them out, chew them up and spit them out, and a lot of these labels are cashing out. A lot of the QCs and a lot of the cash money. Cash money still exists, but
not at the height that they were.
It just seems like we're not really curating and really being that home. You know, like I think Elder Barge was signed to Interscope. I think still at Interscope. You know, so like Elder Barge should be able to have Anita Baker. These people should be able to have a place to, if they want to create legacy music, to still, you know, Babyface. You know what I'm saying? They should still get major label treatment.
Most of them are signing to Empire.
Yeah.
A lot of those legacy acts are signing to the small, really more so distribution oriented labels that have an independent feel. So like, I don't even know if Cobalt is still doing deals like that. I know they're still doing publishing deals, but I don't know if they're doing record deals. But I know that Empire for sure has a bunch of the artists that have fallen away from majors have ended up on Empire, and then 1RPM does the same thing. It's really a overly compensated, or it's a larger distribution company that has a lot of major label capabilities, but that's a lot where a lot of the legacy acts go. And to your point, like, who do we have? Like, there isn't a LaFace anymore. Like, QC sold.
Yep.
Like, who do we have?
Shout out to
I don't even know.
I don't know. We have. I mean, Sosa Def was a boutique, right?
What you call it is still around. Black Ground. There's a Black Ground 2.0.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know there was Sosa Def. There was.
Shout out to the homie Justice at Love Renaissance. That's what I was trying to think of. Love Renaissance. You know, with Summer Walker. And, and they have the label and they have management. Like they manage West Side Boogie. A couple of artists I'm kind of like losing.
Who do they distribute through? I know they've got a major
Interscope.
I know they have a major distribution deal, but they are still a true by us, for us.
Yeah, good people too. Good folks over there. But you can't name a lot of them. I was trying to scramble to think of them.
Yeah, it's not
a lie.
Faces or Reid. L.A. Reid's got a great point.
Yeah, it's not a lot of them anymore. And you think about what those Black-owned boutique labels did for artists. I mean, they really helped develop and shape artists into being artists, right? I mean, my favorite, of course, is Motown because I just love the Motown model. And of course, that's where you have K-pop groups who have emulated or K-pop companies who have emulated the Motown structure because they knew that type of factory type system worked. I mean, Motown put their artists through so many different things. And now we don't have platforms that do that. I mean, think about all of these artists who are going on TV shows and radio stations and interviews. And are they prepared to go do those types of shows? Are they even taught about the art of interviewing? I mean, we had record labels back in the day, and more specifically, for when I'm talking about, like Motown would actually teach you how to do interviews,
PR,
and press, and they would teach you how to do all of those things.
How to eat, how to have a dinner properly.
Yeah, how to eat, how to have all of that. They would teach you all of that. But we don't have entities today. I mean, they're probably independent entities, maybe not on a Black boutique record label scale, maybe individually, right, that are doing some of these things, but not at scale in that sense. And so I think we can also see the impact culturally from the absence or the reduction of those boutique labels.
Yeah,
because they just don't exist. And then I guess the other is that because record labels wanted to dominate the industry and to kind of take those away? I mean, did they go away because of the major record labels? They started buying up boutique record labels and kind of
Yeah, they did.
incorporating them into their business model and then doing away with it completely.
It's the money. It's hard to raise the capital like it used to be. You could be Master P out the trunk, and then end up raising the capital to run your own label. You could be Ludacris out the trunk and have enough money to start a bidding war so that when you go to a major, you have leverage for a deal, and then you can have a DTP record label or a Grand Hustle record label. All of those scenarios all started with the individual success of one artist, and then them branching off to do their own thing.
Wait, boy, T.I., how come T.I. ain't? What is up with Grand Hustle? How come he ain't still promoting? What's up with that? I'm just messing with Ty. You missing Grand Hustle? Just messing.
Come on,
Young
man.
Dro, Young LA, Alpha Mega. Who else is on the Grand Hustle?
All of those
B.O.B.
labels, though. All of them. Even
I'm just messing with you.
But all of them. But I'm saying that's that entire. I mean, you think about it. There was a point in the early 2000s,
T.I. letting
maybe
us down, man. He letting us down.
everybody had a label.
Everybody had a label.
Every artist had a label. If you wanted one, you could get one.
You could get one.
And everybody had a. Nelly had one. T.I. had one. Ludacris had one. Then, of course, like 50 Cent on
Shady
label.
Records, yeah.
Eminem. They all had labels.
Unit Records.
Yeah,
They all had one
the
in some
challenge
way.
was
Rockefeller.
Yep.
it was them basically having that expense added to money that the labels already knew that they can make off of that artist themselves. And so now, as independents, true independents, are we collaborating and partnering in a way that we could create our own labels? Should we? Because we definitely should be pooling our resources, because we just talked about how we don't have the money or the time. So this now is the best time for independents to literally join forces and create labels, because it's the only way you can truly manage all of the things that needs to happen, not only for your advancement, but also somebody else's. Imagine two rappers working together to create fan bases, and them fan bases, mending together. So then their fan bases are twice as big as they would have been for their music by themselves. Like, those whole pretenses behind independence and collaboration is probably we probably have better music even if there were more independent labels.
I mean, and from my perspective, the reason why I believe that is because we would have things in place like QC.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, we're going to QC that album before it's released.
Yeah. And
we don't have
that.
We don't have that.
Well, you don't have the marketing meetings. We talk about these meetings where they always show the clip of, what was it, Bobby Shmurda jumping on the table and all of that. That room was packed. The room wasn't packed just because it was a bunch of people who wanted to see the show. Those people all had jobs that they had to figure out, if they were going to sign that artist, how they were going to market that artist to the world.
And we don't have that today.
And now it's you in your room uploading to DistroKid with no plan beyond that, except for, maybe some content that you shot that you're going to get tired of posting in 10 days. We need teams. We need plans that go beyond the month of the rollout.
Yeah, but there's a certain level of maturity that comes with that. There's a certain level of humility that comes with that, certain level of releasing your ego that comes with that. And I don't think a lot of people are ready to do that, because a lot of people have control, right? They have control issues because it's like, I want to be in charge of this.
Yes.
And how can you come and tell me what to do? This is my thing.
That's the problem right there. That how can you come tell me?
Yeah, how can you come tell me?
You don't work for a major label, do you? Okay, so now
Exactly.
major label is the end all be all. So I guess.
So how can you come tell me what to do and how we're going to do it and how we need to be a partner and how.
Trust me, I deal with all of that. It's like, well, Drake got 1 billion streams. Why can't if I give you $50, why you can't give me 1 billion streams?
Oh, that reminds me.
Like what? It don't even work like that anyway.
Period.
We were talking about the promo guide for recording, and I saw something. I think it was just yesterday that he posted that kind of got my wheelhouse going about how he only works with major clients now. He stopped working with smaller clients because the cheap people complain.
Of course they do.
And he raises prices because the more they pay, the less they complain.
That's right.
People
100%.
pay $50 and wonder why their song ain't blew up.
100%.
Whereas people who spend money know it takes a long-term investment. It takes consistency.
Absolutely.
People pay for a small promotion once or twice and get mad because they ain't blew up.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes,
for me as a business owner, I'll start thinking about just my products and services. Like, well, maybe I should go, because I've heard other people in the sales world talk about go for the higher paying clients.
That's right.
So as an artist, you got to think about where you fall on that end.
Absolutely.
As far as like you get what you pay for, and you got to be patient. And if you want a career in music, you better figure out where the money gonna come from, or at least And some people, that's why I don't knock folks working a 9 to 5, because sometimes, like, let's bring up LaRussell again. LaRussell says your job is your first investor, right?
Mm-hmm.
You may want to work that extra day of overtime every week.
Absolutely.
To put an extra couple $100
that's right.
in your promotion on a regular basis.
You
may need to pay hundreds of dollars every week just to kind of get a footnote in the game.
These platforms actually make the barrier to entry from a promotion perspective really cheap. Like right now, I'm running $5 ads on Instagram.
But people, the challenge is people don't want to pay for things that they can't see.
But you may not see an ROI at that moment. There's going to have to be a period of time. That's the person
that B's talking about.
Right. There's going to have to be a period of time until you see that return on investment,
Yeah.
which may be a couple of months. It may be a year later
Yes.
when you see that ROI. And so if you're not patient enough, then you're going to quickly go, I did this and this ain't working.
Yeah.
I did this and this ain't working.
We keep saying that we live in a world currently of instant gratification. If I give you $20 and the keys to my car, I expect to come back to a crispy clean car.
That's not going to happen.
Period. So to do that with music, or really any type of business structure that requires the time that it takes for growth, it's a struggle to get people to stay committed to it.
And that's the issue.
That's to tell artists, independent artists, when I tell them, it's gonna take 3 months to even get a grasp on where your song sits in the market, and then for them to be, they've already stopped posting content 2 weeks out from the release.
Oh my God.
2 weeks out, they like, I'm tired. Like, how I'm looking? We looking good? What them numbers looking like?
The numbers looking low because
they look like what you what you put in is what you got out.
Exactly.
So great, you went gun ho for 8 or 9 days, but then what did you do with that information? So if you put up a post and nobody responded to it, what did you change? What did you do differently? If you put up a post and it got engagement, what did you take away from that? And how are you going to apply that to your next post? That's the kind of stuff that when you try to work in collaboration with independents, it becomes a challenge. And when we know that there's an existing system, i.e. a major, that's going to do a lot of that for them, or at least they think that the major is, because they don't do it like they used to, not anymore. That becomes the challenge in getting them to pay for a $5 ads or run ads, period.
But here's the thing, though. You're going to spend that $5 somewhere else. Right? You're going to spend it on $5 foot long.
You know how many times I tell people that?
$5 foot long.
I say you may have to you may have to have Starbucks one less time a week.
Yeah,
maybe.
Right? You may.
But you're going to spend it, and there is no chance of a return on that.
No chance.
You're going to return to the bathroom to get it up out you. But that's it.
But you're going to spend that $5 somewhere. Yeah. Even at $5 a day,
Yeah. Like B was saying, what I tried to do was create a format of where I could service people with Toyota or people with a Lexus.
And it's made by the same company.
Made by the same company. But if you want luxury and you willing to pay for that, then fine. I got you. If all you have is what you have and the Toyota Corolla is going what fit in your budget, then let's go with the Toyota Corolla. I feel like Walmart didn't become a massive company by only servicing one kind of customer. They just tried to meet as many people where they were as possible, which meant sometimes having a 50-cent fork or a $5 fork. They had them both.
And they got both. They got $50 forks in there.
Yeah, they got them both. So if you want that, I got that. If you want this, I got this. Just understand you going to get what you pay for on both ends of the spectrum. Right. You can say that you only want a high-end client, but then that means you have to have a high level of profitability, and you really already have to have some capital to hold you through to those next stages, because that means it's going to be far and few between that you see clients.
That's right.
Right? But whereas if you can create more traffic within any space, then you give a better chance to the people that you're servicing, and also a better chance for the growth of your business.
Yeah. I just think that, once again, they're just missing the boat with that whole thing, because they just think this is a world where you can just make a song, post it on social media, put it on Spotify, do your distro thing, and you're good. And it takes a whole lot more.
A lot.
You should be doing what the record labels used to do. So if you knew that they were doing all of these different departments, you should at least be thinking about, okay, what did that department do? What did this department do?
A lot of them didn't know that. Still don't know that.
Still don't. But see, here's the thing, though. A lot of information now is out there and accessible, where you can now learn that information. I mean, hell, you could go to ChatGPT.
That's a fact.
And say, ChatGPT, what are the major departments within a record label, and how did these record labels market an artist?
I say it all the time now. To not know is a choice.
It's a choice. And if you don't know, and if
you don't have to not know, you a Google away. You a ChatGPT
away from finding.
If you
out.
don't know, that's a choice.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
It's all out there for us.
It's all out there, and it's right there at your fingertips. Yep. Whether on your phone, your computer.
Yep.
You got, or in a book. You got because now you have people who are in the industry writing all these books that you can take the knowledge and learn directly from them. I always tell people the book is down here, but Ari Herstand wrote this book, How to Make It in the New Music Business.
And he's got several versions.
He's on number 3 right now.
Yeah.
And he lays out the literally entire game plan. You just got to learn how to read. Reading is fundamental. You got to want to go buy the book and actually read the book, or get the Audible version and listen to the Audible version.
Get the audio book.
Do something, though, because it's there.
Yeah.
The information is there, and it's spend your little $15.99, get the Audible version. You got a phone, download the app, it's free, and then just listen to it, and then employ what strategies they're talking about. Because that Ari will lay it 100% out for you.
Yes. Only thing I usually tell people is, do not try to use ChatGPT to do your legal work.
Or to write your raps.
Yeah, don't do legal work.
Don't do legal work.
Legal work has too much nuance based on situation and scenario, and trying to do what is a broad brushstroke. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Brush, yeah. Which is what ChatGPT does. May not cover the nuances that you need. And that's why you can get maybe a basic basis for entertainment law, but in terms of the nuance of a contract itself and that kind of thing, don't do it.
Yeah. You're going to have to spend some money.
You're going to have to spend some bread.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
If you don't spend it on nothing else.
I'm tired of hearing y'all ain't talking about spending money, but if we see y'all spending money
on everything else.
You spend money on shoes, and weed, and going to the club and doing all these things. You trust me, and watches and jewelry. You trying to look the part. You trying to look like an artist and not really being an artist.
Yeah, and then you want that manager or someone to spend their money.
That. Nope.
That's crazy.
Nope.
And then you're gonna leave them when you get signed.
Exactly. You're gonna leave when you can sound like that. They can't do nothing for me no more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hit him with that stiff arm like Rihanna did her manager. It's over.
Facts.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing for me no more.
Crazy.
Yeah. So what y'all think about BET and BET Hip Hop Awards and Soul Train? I mean, and so let me
burn it to the ground.
So y'all know, right?
Take it out back to the woodshed.
We kind of late to the party with this one because we haven't met in a while, but I had to go out of town and all that stuff.
Being
but
silly, of course.
But BET announced the indefinite. So look, I like the words they use because they're contradictory, and I'll tell you why as we have the discussion. But BET announced the indefinite suspension of both the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards, citing stagnant ratings and financial pressure. CEO Scott Mills described it's not really ending, but it's a moment to reimagine the format and platform for evolving media tastes. The decision underscores a broader challenge in honoring music culture within a shifting television landscape. So for independent artists, this raises important considerations about how institutional recognition now adapts or may exclude the indie space. And so here's the reason why I say it's contradictory. Indefinite means...
Well, it means that it could possibly come back.
Does it? But does it though?
Yeah.
Yeah, because definite would mean
Right.
that it definitely is not.
Right.
Indefinite means that they can say that the door is closing, but the door is not closed.
The door is closing.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
closed.
It is not closed all the way. So you can,
That's right.
so you can still slide a little foot in there somewhere.
That's it. And basically, I'm
Peekaboo.
gonna go ahead and tell you what needs to happen, and they just got to figure it out.
Let us know.
So the landscape in terms of what people will pay for has changed. They've been losing sponsorship every year because we currently are in a scenario right now where we have an administration that is not really about the support of minorities of any type. And so whereas you may have had a BET Awards that had a huge sponsorship from Johnson & Johnson or a huge spot, like I would assume that next year Target will probably not be a sponsor for Essence Fest as they have been in the past.
And Coca-Cola.
So companies like that are no longer doing initiatives that support minority organizations or programs. When that happens, that's the money that they were using to either pay talent or to pay all of the production staff, and that money is going away. They've got to create a different format. They're going to have to include more than just the music. They're going to have to start bringing in streamers and stuff like that and creating categories that will encompass those other parts of the media world, right? Because then you can get Apple to sponsor it. You can get Amazon to sponsor it. You can get Netflix to sponsor it and host it, because they know it's going to be a broader push. You can still incorporate the minority piece into it, of course. It can be, it's probably going to have to be broader.
I mean, it's BET, so it's got to be minority focused, right? Yeah.
Yes, it needs to be.
I would hope so.
But it's going to have to be done in a way where in a current climate where we are basically a pig, we're going to have to figure out how to put some lipstick on this pig if we intend to get money from the people that are writing the checks that have gotten us where we are. Otherwise, it's unfortunate that we can't come together as communities of those who the haves to support the haves. Like, we're not asking for awards programs for the homeless. These are opportunities to celebrate people who, in theory, most of them are more well off than we are, and they can't put money. Like, you telling me Tyler Perry?
Well, remember they tried to buy BET.
Yeah,
they tried to purchase
Magic
BET.
Johnson and Tyler Perry and the guy who made the
Ray
Daniels and
all of these millionaire minorities. We can't get on the same page.
Frederick Smith, Robert Smith.
Yeah, Robert Smith, Robert F. Smith,
the billionaire.
Yeah, billionaire. Yeah,
we can't. Those are.
But is it in their interest to do that though? Is it in their interest?
Man, that show was trash. That's why. If the show was
The
any
show
good,
was trash.
The show was
if
trash.
the show was any good, they wouldn't have no problem with sponsoring because everybody be watching it. The ratings would be up. The show was trash.
But who would sponsor it?
The black moral fiber is trash at its core.
Sure.
It's trash. It's not good.
Glorilla won the gospel.
Shannon Sharp won the hip hop media.
Trash. So that's why I say burn it to the ground. Burn it to the ground and rebuild it the right way. So that's what I got to say.
It's probably
that's
not
what
coming
Shannon
back.
Sharp wanted
Because
and that's why I don't think it's coming
because
back.
Ty, you're talking like we working for a charity. Like, how can we raise money? If it was popping,
nah, man,
they'll come to it.
No, that's how all these things work, bro. All of them. I don't care if it's the AMAs. I don't care if it's any major award show you can think of. All them commercial breaks where they say this section is sponsored by this and that. Nobody pays for their own stuff. It doesn't, and that's not even a black or white thing. Well, white people definitely don't pay for their own stuff. They use credit for everything, but they don't pay for. It's always this was brought to you by Downey, and this is brought to you by Lexus, and this they don't pay for their own stuff.
Two things though. Number one, I forgot my first point.
That's crazy. I mean, I said number one. I ain't got it.
One of the points that I was gonna make on the first and the second point is that overall award shows have been kind of going down with ratings, and I think the quality of a lot of the shows have been going down in general. But number two, that's the one I forgot. I guess what I'm trying to say is that at its core, if the shows were better, they would have again, it's black and white. Like, you get eyeballs on it. Sponsors are going to want to flock to be a part of it because they're going to.
But that's why I say you've got to create a product that is viable. If you tell them that Mr. Beast is going to be there, or in our case, if you tell them that Kai Cenat is going to be there, he already has sponsorships.
Yep.
So now his sponsors are like, oh, this becomes a great opportunity for us to not just be seen on somebody's computer screen, but also on television screens. They'll put money up.
But I don't know how I feel about that because particularly with the hip hop awards, how does that affect the integrity of hip hop?
I mean, at this point, it's hand in hand. They're tandem. Every great rollout requires the artist to go onto a stream.
Don't even know who Wale is. So think about that. So
every artist,
how you gonna pay him to be you get what I'm saying?
Every artist who wants to be in what they consider a relevant space, you don't see them on late night shows no more. You see them on Kai Cenat's stream.
Well,
they're not going to
begs
Conan or whoever anymore.
The bigger question,
ain't no Arsenio no more.
Nope.
They on Kai Cenat stream.
They on Kai Cenat
and so
stream.
Therefore he has made himself relevant, especially to our culture when it comes to music.
I'll give you this much. Conan, Jimmy Fallon, and all them. Or Jimmy Fallon actually knows a little bit of hip hop. I think wasn't he in the Zulu Nation? Anyway,
I don't know, but the Roots is his band. Roots is his house band.
But even him though, like to your point, you can't expect them to necessarily be like all in the culture, like Conan and Jay Leno.
No.
So
it becomes academic. Think about the people who have platforms that are media that have crossed into. So it becomes Joe Budden. It becomes academic. It becomes Kai Cenat. It becomes everywhere that artists think that they need to be in order to be seen for their culture.
I'll give you Joe Budden academics. At least they know they know the culture,
right?
Whether or not you think they're good for the culture or not, but at least they know the culture.
At least they know the culture.
They know what it's like.
I'll give it that.
I'm sure academics and Joe Budden know who Wale is, right?
That's true, but let's just be fair. There's always different sectors, and it's the same reason why something like the BET Awards would have a section where you got let's just say like Outkast and Bone Thugs, and they bring all of them out there, right? And then they turn around and they have Doechii and they have Glorilla. Those are two different ends of the spectrum in terms of the age groups that these things. This is giving the younger generation exposure to the older hip hop that gives the older hip hop exposure to what is currently going on. Right now, where Kai just represents the younger portion of hip hop. So to your point, if you got Joe Budden there and you got Kai there, you're representing both the I don't want to say old.
The old and new.
Yeah, it is old and new, but I don't want to
old and young.
But current, what's current, and what is really part of the fabric of the culture itself.
But I can't hold Kai Cenat to a certain level of journalistic integrity because he's not a journalist. You know what I mean? He's not a hip hop journalist.
He don't even really be on there.
He's a stream guy,
a journalist.
Or he's a streamer that just happened to be very popular and made a whole lot of money, and now he's a millionaire.
Little to
streamer.
No questions.
Right? To me, I don't think he has that journalistic fortitude, I guess, to be able to know who this Wale is versus this person. Yeah. He's not a journalist.
He's not trying to.
Yeah. He's not trying to.
But why do we try to prop him up? Bring him to our
We didn't
awards.
prop him up. He earned his spot.
I get what I'm saying.
Why are we trying to use him to okay?
Because he represents what is new.
Yeah, but it's the hip hop awards, bruh.
But he represents what is new.
He represents that new side.
Burn it down. If you gotta resort to that, burn it down because now you're destroying the integrity of hip hop. Burn it down. That's not hip hop. Burn it down. In all
fairness, is rappers that we all don't know. There's some we do and some that we don't. Some that you may consider as a classic.
If you're a journalist,
if you're gonna be on BET rap programming, you should know all of it.
If you're a journalist in that perspective, I think you should at least know.
Burn it to the ground. You're gonna know everybody.
No, you're not gonna know everybody. But I think you should know hip hop, right? Yeah. History of hip hop, the culture of hip hop. I think that is what you should know, and you should know at least the majority of who maybe artists are in the hip hop space, both old and
a lot of artists,
new. And that's a lot of artists. But when you go,
it's about 75 of them that look alike. But on any given day, any member of the Migos,
I thought they were the same person at first.
Future, or it's so many Honchos and Gustos and Gustos and.
But isn't that why the BET Hip Hop Awards and institutions within the culture exist to illuminate and educate?
But that's the point. So if you're okay with them educating on the old, then why not still have
it has to be
the new?
Still both.
Guess what? If that scenario had never taken place, Kai Cenat still wouldn't know who Wale was.
No, I'm
so he just got educated.
It
wasn't the way he would have wanted to get the education. I use that as
an example, though. I wasn't trying to single out that specifically just to do it, but I'm saying in general, you've got someone who doesn't really know. He even admits, I'm not a journalist. I'm here to just talk about what I like, my opinions. I'm just having fun. I'm a kid having fun. I'm saying we're the ones that's putting him in this position, and we expect him to know all this stuff.
We shouldn't expect that.
I don't expect that from him.
No. Why do we expect that?
So why are we
if we know who he is, why do we expect him to be something else?
Why are we going to use him to drive in ratings for a show?
Because he drives in ratings.
Because he drives in ratings.
He has an audience.
He has an audience that's bigger.
Get that out of here, man.
You said it.
No, he has an audience that's probably bigger than the collective of viewership for the BET Hip Hop Awards.
Hey, I guarantee you.
And so they're taking advantage of that.
Kai was not the only person who did not know who Wale was. And now all of those people who didn't know, who probably only were watching it because Kai was on it, they now know. So
well, first of all,
it was a bad way to get to the end result.
No, first of all, I'm not trying to take that and use it because that was the BET Award. It wasn't Hip Hop Awards. That was the BET Awards. So that's different. That's because we're talking about a scenario that didn't even happen. I'm just saying in general, if you're going to bring streamers in, they should be somebody that knows hip hop.
It's not even just Hip Hop Awards. It's Soul Train too.
Because that was the BET Awards.
Yeah. I think at this juncture,
it's a Soul Train Awards.
In order
they're taking that away.
The bread,
Soul Train don't even come on no more. Is it still on?
Yeah, Soul Train not even on.
They had the Soul Train Awards.
No, it's
they've been doing a Soul Train.
The Soul Train show.
Yeah. Not unless they reimagined it.
So how do you expect an award show to thrive? The show don't even exist no more. That's stupid. If the show don't even exist no more, how do you expect the awards to have relevance over the years if the show don't even exist?
Come on,
That's
man.
common sense.
They still had
If the
the
show
award
don't
show.
exist, how can the award show thrive? If the show don't even know what it is, don't even know what it is. Soul Train. Nobody even know what that is. They don't even come on no more.
Peace and
Make it make
soul.
sense. Make it make sense.
Love, peace, and hair grease. Is that what it said? Love, peace, and hair grease, or love, peace, and soul, something like that.
How you expect the show to?
Yeah, that's what Don Cornelius used to say. So to your point, I don't think you're wrong, even though I don't think you're right. But
Which one is it?
it's both. But to your point, there probably needed to be some type of reimagining to what that looked like anyway, which is exactly what they said.
Like, I don't know.
So if there's going to be an award show that is literally for
reimaged.
Soul Train was initially, the Soul Train Awards were initially for where we were currently within the culture. But since that show doesn't exist anymore, it's almost like if you're going to have the Soul Train Awards, it's really just for
Redundancy.
older artists to continue to give the flowers to legacy acts. Unless they reimagine it and do something different to where they can make it current. It maybe even change the name of it.
It's redundant. You got the BET Awards.
I don't disagree with that.
NAACP Image Awards.
I don't disagree with that, but you have to remember that these things started on the premise of business. And so if Dark and Lovely was willing to write a check for the Soul Train Awards, but not the BET Awards, then guess what? You was about to get both. Because they went however there was money to be made and a profit to be gained. And so that's how you ended up with multiple, and we have come to that point.
Yep.
That because that's not sustainable, they are indefinitely.
Yep.
I'm more so concerned about the Hip Hop Awards, which wasn't even like a good award show anyway.
Honestly, if there's a show that needed to go away based on the current climate of music, the hip hop show needed to go anyway. We just talked about that double XL
right.
thing. If that's what's coming up in terms of the artists themselves, then what is there to who are there to give awards to?
But those BET ciphers, BET ciphers used to be legendary.
They did used to be
There were
legendary.
some legendary BET ciphers. The Good Music Cipher, the Shady Record Cipher, the one with Mos Def, Black Thought, and Eminem. There's been some legendary ciphers. The Colin Kaepernick, Eminem cipher. It's been so many moments.
There were better artists then. Is that probably was not a cool thing to say, huh?
No, I mean, it's a fact.
The artists were better.
It's subjective.
No.
Is it subjective?
The artists were better.
I think the J. Cole, Kendrick, Wale, Big Sean class was like the last
Holy cow.
great class.
That's an amazing class.
That's but after that, name me some like incredible rappers after that.
Individually, there's some in there, but not. I mean, Joyner Lucas was dope.
Joyner, technically, Kendrick came a little bit after them. Technically, so Kendrick.
Yeah, there were some in there, but
Joyner
to your
Lucas.
point, though, I think the BET ciphers were always a better indication of what had already been stamped as good or better or top tier rappers.
Yeah.
The double XL is trying to figure out what's next. It's literally kind of trying to anticipate based on momentum what's next. It's not the same as BET saying this person has already kind of been stamped by either, the culture, a label, something. Those ciphers were always better than the double XL ones. Because double XL is like, okay, well, based on what's bubbling, these are the kids.
Remember they had
next.
Reverend Run with his son, and had Ice Cube with his son.
Yeah,
right? Oh, come on, man, that was some legendary.
No, BET was smashing it. Whoever was producing those shows back then, they was doing their thing.
Don't get me started, man.
The more reason why I could see the BET Awards being something that they can reimagine, recreate, and continue to do. I never understood why they were doing a separate hip hop award anyway. I think they was giving out too many awards and making up awards anyway. They really could have made it all one show and pooled that money because most of us that listen to one, listen to the other. And if we don't, we should for the sake of the culture.
From a business perspective, you're probably right. But from a hip hop purist perspective, give us our own awards. I want like the Source Awards, is like my favorite.
Yeah, now that makes
Like-
sense.
like,
But that wasn't
give us-
BET related.
But
And
I'm
that's
saying,
over, right? When was the last time they did a
That's
Source
been over.
Awards?
Thanks, Benzino. That burned to the ground.
Thanks,
Benzino. Thank you, Benzino.
Thanks, Benzino.
Burn that to the ground. But I won't go there. But we need a hip hop
Hey,
awards.
Benzino
though.
dropped some bars the other day. You seen him outside on
Oh my gosh.
the mic?
Oh
You
my
seen
God.
Benzino out on the block. That boy still ain't had no shirt on.
Oh my gosh.
Giving you bars at like 54 years old, shirtless.
I would never
On the
claim to
block.
be no Ray Benzino.
He was
you know
giving
about
it
that
to
song.
you.
I don't wanna be like this. I don't really wanna. Y'all know those who know what I'm
Mhm.
singing. But
Yeah.
I'm only being real when I say nobody wants.
But
to
they
hear
they do have to
grandfather
fix
rap.
it and bring it back, and they got to find the bread.
Yeah.
At this point,
Mhm.
I would be like, I'm just gonna Jay-Z had the song where he talked about the cap table and all of that. Like there literally needs to be some kind of thing within professional sports. If you a black football, basketball, whatever, we need about 50K up out you every year.
Strong arm.
Every year we need 50K out of
Give it up.
every minority that make over.
Like
If you make over $5 million a year, give us 50K,
like a black Illuminati.
and we putting it back into the
We
culture.
need like Tyler Perry, Oprah, and Jay-Z in the
Yes.
dark room.
Man, they don't care.
Yes.
Oh, you want to be in here? Sit your ass down.
don't-
We're gonna call it black taxes.
I don't think they care.
If you black and you making bread,
And
you need to pay taxes for all the black people.
if you don't
that
do
ain't
this,
making
we're
bread.
gonna take your black card and kick you out.
Nope.
Yeah.
the delegation.
We need black tax.
Black tie. I don't think
Because we cry about what we don't have, and then we have some of us who have way more than the rest of
it was
us.
communism.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
What you got? What you got is mine.
You know, communism.
You should
no,
know.
it ain't
No.
communism.
How weird is it? We're the only group of people who will get on a stage wearing designer from head to toe and talk about the struggle of our people, and then go get in our limo and go back to our mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Without breaking bread.
Without breaking, well, I won't say without breaking bread, because some of them do. But the key to it is there's a Jay-Z line. It's my favorite Jay-Z line. He says, his homeboy says, it's not that many of us. And Jay-Z says, less is more. There's plenty of us. So
Mm-hmm.
the ones that got the bread could literally feed the minds and the efforts of those who don't have the money but have the will and the skill to do if we were to work together to get there. That turned into whole something completely different.
But is that their responsibility?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
But
not.
again, just like I said, if you're gonna get up there in your 14-piece suit with your $1,500 socks on,
and I don't even think they
and talk
care.
about power to the people, then give the power to the people.
Those are good sayings. Those are good sayings to make it seem like I'm tied into the culture and I care about you, what you got.
Yeah, I'm just
Right?
saying, just
And
don't do that.
And I don't.
Don't do it.
Because if you really look at the landscape of the whole thing, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, the guy who Ray Daniels up in wherever he runs his media company that he made Empire, Magic Johnson, all them, they actually don't care about what's happening within the culture itself from a music perspective. They're more concerned what can they get out of it.
Dang, really?
That's how I see. Yeah, oh yeah.
I think it's harsh to say they don't care.
So you firing shots at Oprah, Magic
I'm
Johnson,
firing
Tyler
shots,
Perry?
bro.
They don't
I think
care?
it's harsh to say they don't
Okay,
care.
so then let me ask
That's
you this.
very harsh, Ty.
I think
What
that's
evidence?
harsh.
So let's talk about what evidence has been outside of
Because they all give.
outside of tax benefits,
Jobs. Tyler Perry employed a lot of people.
outside of
At his
tax
studio.
a lot of people.
Well, he has to employ a lot of
And
people
pays
because he has a
them-
studio,
And he's giving.
And pays
But-
them market value or better.
but he has a company. So
That's no but.
But it does.
What you mean, but he has a company?
But
That's a
that's
big
a company. But it doesn't matter if you're Walmart or Tyler Perry Studios. You hire employees, you got to pay employees.
That's nothing to sneeze at. That's nothing to just gloss over.
Absolutely, you can't gloss over it because some
I'm
people
not saying that
choose
it's
to
not.
only hire who they want to hire.
I get that.
He could have only white people working there. Would we be good with
it
that?
Does.
And say, who?
Would you say the
tweaking?
Would you say the
I'm
majority?
not saying it's not a lot of them, but it's not only them.
Would you say the majority?
No, I'm not saying it's only them. Let me make sure that's
It's
what I'm not saying.
diversity. Of course,
it's diversity.
other
they have
races
other races and other cultures and
but who is
ethnicities
the
that
majority
work
working there though? Us, right?
Could be. I haven't been to Tyler Perry Studios. Probably.
It is. There's a lot of
and that's
us
nothing
there.
to sneeze at.
There's a lot of us there.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
No. I'm talking about in the context of what we're talking about right here.
Right.
The culture of hip hop banding together to create these award shows, these platforms that highlight the excellence of artistry within the Black community. Granted, yes, they have Tyler Perry Studios and Oprah Studios where they run these mega organizations. They have to hire people and pay them. Yes, it is commendable that they pay them above market value if that is what they're paying them. I'm not slighting them in that way at all.
But you said they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
That's mean.
So then what evidence have we seen? Now I don't have any money, right? So for y'all to go, what have you done? Right? But I support my kids and my family as best as possible.
Time out. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Because you could do something on any level. So
100%.
You don't got to give $1 million, but you can give 20, 10, 100.
Okay.
So but hold on. Now we
but
off
that's
track
though.
Because we talking about the kind of bread.
We talking about the kind of bread
do
an
award show.
And that's what I'm focusing on.
That's why I said athletes and people that make over $5 million.
That's what I'm focused on.
We all have the capability to give back.
100%.
You might be doing worship, but can you do a little convention? Can you do a little?
I can donate.
They do those.
I can donate to somebody that's doing that.
They donate. They give their time. They do that stuff.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying, if we talking about for the greater good of the culture,
that's what I'm talking about.
We are the eyes that are watching Oprah's content. We are the eyes that are watching Tyler Perry's content. We are the same eyes that will watch that award show. So therefore, if they wanted that award show to exist, then they would be giving back to the same people who gave to them in order for them to have the deal.
But that's what I'm talking about.
He said he don't care. I think it's ego.
It could be.
I don't think that's
it. Could be.
I think it's misappropriation of funds.
Because Tyler Perry,
I think it's out.
Tyler Perry tried to buy
poor
BET.
allocation.
But how come Oprah and Jay-Z didn't? How come they didn't come together to buy it?
Now you're making my point though.
Ego.
Well, I don't think so.
I don't think they care.
I think
I don't think it's any.
Why didn't they
tangible,
try to buy it together?
Yeah, because I don't think it's any true tangible benefit for them in purchasing that.
Because it's ego.
If I'm going to purchase something, I always have to think about what is going to be my return on investment on this particular purchase, right? No matter what it is, from that perspective, if I'm coming together to buy BET, what is going to be my return on investment in order to do that? That's the why I say they don't care, because you'll figure it out. If you care enough about the culture, you're going to figure it out. You're going to say, hey, you and you and you, we got all this money. Let's figure out a way to create a company to purchase this so that we can have ownership over it, so that we can still celebrate Black excellence at its highest level by still offering the Soul Train Music Awards and the BET Hip Hop Awards.
I'm not a big fan of
I'm
not a big fan of just definitively saying what people's motives are.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't tell you.
And there's always, like I was saying about the contract thing, there's always nuance to it, right? So even if we say, well, so-and-so's got X amount of money.
Who has ownership?
Yeah, but what's that money tied up in? And what is that money really? What's the liquidity of that money and the realistic possibility of being able to take a chunk of money to
move it over and to put into
that? This is a good conversation. Did y'all see the new Denzel Washington Spike Lee movie?
No, but I do want to see it though. Because I haven't seen it yet.
Is it out?
It came out last week.
Yeah, it came out.
This discussion plays right into the plot of the movie. So y'all
I might have got to see the movie and talk about it.
Maybe like next month we'll do a spoiler discussion, but this goes right into literally they're having debates on Twitter now about this kind of whole thing because of the movie. So
Gotta check it out.
yeah, I don't want to give nothing away, but
don't give it away.
but-
We'll check it out and come back and talk about it.
good movie too, by the way. Good movie. 91% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's dope.
Only people that's criticizing it is Black Twitter. So that's a whole nother discussion right there.
And see, I don't know what
Probably
Black
the
Twitter
same
saying.
Black Twitter that thought Sinners was a great movie. I digress.
Hey y'all.
I still haven't seen it though.
digress.
I still haven't seen it.
My
so.
name Brian Henry. Because I'm not doing this today for time. I'm not doing it, y'all. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Like the great ODB said, baby, I like it raw.
I'm not doing this with this dude today.
I'm just telling you.
I ain't doing this
Oh,
today with
man.
time.
This wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I haven't seen it yet to even
Spoiler alert.
make a judgment of whether, in my perspective, it
This
was
is the
good
reason
or
why
not.
We so
Sometime-
quick to get hyped up, boy. We find a helium balloon to suck on in a heartbeat. Oh man, that was great. Was it?
Was it though?
Was it?
Was it good because
Sinners
Michael
was
B.
a great
Jordan was in
movie.
it? And
It
Ryan
was a
Coogler
great
directed
movie,
it?
and I'm not even being. Was it?
I'm gonna watch it and come back and tell y'all.
I'm gonna say for the record, Ty, you bugging. It's a very good movie. So
It's not a bad movie, but it's not what we
It's not like
as a culture tried to make it like it was just.
this best
If you
outstanding
saw the
movie.
walk, what is it? The Dawn of the Dead or Dusk Till Dawn?
What about the Lost Boys?
If you saw Dusk Till Dawn, then you saw this movie. You saw Sinners.
who was in Dust Till Dawn? Was it primarily black director?
Clooney.
No. It was
Exactly,
it was-
Ty. Exactly.
it
So
was
how come we can't have our version? How come we can't have our own? Why you hating on it?
Wait.
How come we can't have
Why
our
you
own?
hating?
Ty?
He's passionate about. Why you
the movie
hating?
How
wasn't
come we can't
good.
have our own?
It wasn't good. There were good things about the movie.
Maybe we
but
can have. I think what Ty is saying is.
overall, if you look at, there's just like a basic timeline
Lord,
that you can
Lord,
go
I
through.
said I wasn't gonna do it. He pulled me in, Lord. I said I
You-
wasn't gonna do it.
It's a basic timeline you can go through with that
I'm
movie
down.
and find holes in the movie.
Hey, you
It
got
was like
You got it,
a
Tom.
lot of the movie got left on the editing
Well, look,
floor.
I haven't seen it. I don't
You
want.
got it,
I don't
Tom.
want
Yeah,
no
I'm just saying.
no
It's just
spoilers.
a lot of
You know it's
it's
streaming
not
now
there.
on HBO. It's
Yeah, I'm
streaming
gonna watch
now.
it.
A lot
I'll
of
probably
it's
watch it this
just
weekend
not
too.
there.
'Cause I got HBO Max.
There's
for free.
things that should be there that are not there.
And-
It's an enjoyable movie, but but it's not a great movie.
And if y'all don't know,
You
Like,
remind
stop
me
playing.
all the time why not I can't take your opinion serious. You remind me. You come with these good old reasons.
I'm just saying, we literally could do a show after you see it.
I'm gonna watch
We're
it.
going to do a show
I'm
where
gonna
I'm going to
watch
run down to you everything that you can't explain to me because it makes zero sense
I'ma
in
watch
that
it.
movie. But our
then-
folks
and
was
then-
so gassed up to see something that we created, which is great, and we should be. And I was gassed up too. I bought my ticket and I sat in my seat and I watched the movie. I made sure I didn't watch it on the streaming platform. I went to the movies
All right,
to
look.
see it. I did all the appropriate black things.
I saw it
The
3
movie
times.
just
We're gonna
wasn't
talk
that
about.
good.
We're gonna talk about Sinners later.
Hey, God bless
It
everybody.
wasn't.
We're gonna talk about Sinners later. But we
All
got
that
one
crazy
thing.
stuff in that movie that didn't make no sense.
We got one more thing to talk about.
Y'all know it
fellas.
didn't make no
That's coming out.
sense.
God bless you. Russell
Look, we got one more thing to talk about before we get out of here. All right,
Movie wasn't no good.
we got one more thing to talk
it-
about, and this is probably we got to talk about this one thing, and then we go because this is gonna spark some debate. They always come up
I'm
with
not
these.
debating. I'm not going.
He said, "I'm not debating them."
Whatever he say is right. I'm
not.
This is facts.
Look,
Whatever he
okay,
said
look.
is.
I just come with
Look,
the facts.
Hey,
Look.
God bless. You know.
Look, well, I mean that's not a fact. That's the actual perspective, your own opinion. I haven't seen it. I gotta watch it.
When you see it,
I'm gonna watch it.
you're gonna say,
I'm gonna watch it.
I wonder what this meant, or I wonder
I'm
what
gonna
happened
watch
here.
it.
I wonder why this didn't. Those are going
I'm
to
gonna
be
watch it.
facts.
All right, so let's talk about this last thing, right? So
Man, the movie was like Swiss cheese.
So we know Billboard just unveiled its ranking of the top producers of the 21st century based on how many Billboard Hot 100 #1 hits they've contributed to since 2000, right? If y'all didn't know, the 21st century started in 2000. The list raises eyebrows, however, over notable omissions like Pharrell Williams and Metro Boomin, and ignites a conversation about what really defines a producer in today's music industry. Just so, I only want to look at the top 10, right? That's because I think it's surprising of like who's in the top 10. I was like, oh, why?
It shouldn't be surprising, B, because it's black and white. They told you the criteria right there. They told you. They said, is it literally based on how many Hot 100 entries? So that's black and white. You add them up and you rank them in the store.
You say you add them up
And you
rank them.
Yeah.
End of
So why is everybody
story.
complaining? Started year 2000, 2025.
Yep.
All right,
Get all the Hot 100 injuries.
Boom.
all right.
Add them up and
Add them up.
Add them
Boom.
up, right?
Rank them. Boom.
So you had
Plain as day.
Plain as Day, right?
Just like how
Timbaland number
Sinners was
10.
not there.
So they had Timbaland at number 10.
Yeah.
And then Jermaine Dupri at number 9.
Okay.
Benny Blanco at number 8.
Yeah.
Jack Antonoff at number 7.
They're probably all with one artist. But go ahead.
Beyonce at number 6.
That's crazy. That's disrespect.
Shellback
she
at
put her name on her records.
Shellback at number 5.
I know.
Circuit at number 4. Stargate at number 3. Dr. Luke at number 2. Max Martin at number 1.
Hot 100.
Hot 100. Max Martin is king of Hot 100s though.
Yeah.
Like when I saw this list, I didn't really have issues. Maybe 1 or 2 issues.
Reading is fundamental though. People are up in arms because they don't read.
They don't read. And they're
That's
like,
not fair. That's not well, first of all,
fact.
life ain't fair. However, what you said in the beginning, which was arguing what truly encompasses a producer
right.
in production.
Yep.
To see Beyonce's name on there
Slap in the face.
is
Slap
where
in the face.
to producers.
And that's what a lot of people say. And a lot of people come back and say,
If
well,
I'm Rodney Jerkins,
she produced a lot of stuff for her on her album.
They should have nuanced that a little bit and took her
Yes.
name out of there. They should have nuanced that.
If I'm any producer who produced a record for Beyonce, that's a slap in the face. Because you know that her name is on the production credits of your record, and your record is really what put her into the top 10.
I was actually surprised to see Beyonce up there.
That's a slap in the face.
From the list itself, I was actually surprised to see Beyonce.
I'm trying to think.
up
Are there
there.
any other producers that
Rihanna does that, but she didn't put out enough music.
I'm trying to think of
She didn't put
producers
right.
that have like more than one hit record with Beyonce. If I'm Tricky Stewart or Dream or Rodney Jerkins or I don't know, Babyface. Babyface
that's
didn't
the thing.
produce.
She's been
wrote.
using a plethora of producers her last
She does.
few
She does a
albums.
lot. She does. But those are people who had at least 2.
But
At least 2 hit records with her.
So when we think about the context of a music producer, is it in the same vein as how we would look at a Quincy Jones as a producer?
I see where you're going with this.
Right?
So
But that's
see where
why
I'm going
she
with
don't
it,
have
right?
no
Beyonce-
business on there.
You're saying Beyonce makes decisions and
Makes
crafts her
decisions
records.
and crafts a record. She says, "I want this. I don't want to do this." She produces her own vocals.
I don't fight that, but I think for our purposes, we gotta for the purpose of this list, we gotta kind of nuance that out a little bit because technically, why it's production, we're talking about more so of the meat and potatoes of the actual music.
So here's what people are saying, and I can kind of see this. So if y'all in the comments saying it, just go ahead and say it because I'm gonna say it anyway. Why are y'all attacking the only black woman that's on the list?
Oh
right?
my God.
I seen this oh my gosh. As I was researching this whole thing, that's all the comments I saw. Why are you attacking the only black woman on this
But what other artists is on there though? I know Taylor. I mean, Taylor Swift is on that list somewhere, but she's not top 10. She's on the list as well.
Yeah, I'm sure she's on the list. Yeah, she's number 13.
Because she did the same thing. She put her name on all her stuff.
Yeah. And that's the difference. Just because you put your name on it doesn't mean that you're actually producing it. Right.
However, and not it's gonna be you sticking up for the white people. However, we know going back to Taylor Swift even starting as an artist that she has played guitar on her records. Mm-hmm. She actually is an instrumentalist.
Yes.
So as soon as I see Beyonce with an instrument in her hand, then we can put her back on the producer list.
And see,
but until then,
a lot of people argue.
Yes, production does encompass many, many things, and I'm sure that she could be constituted as a complimentary producer. However, I guarantee in more scenarios than not, especially those records that put her at the top of that list, those were production concepts that a producer brought to her. Already, the music was made. And maybe she said, add of this or add of that, but I guarantee you she didn't come up with the baseline production that the song end up turning into. She may have helped to build it to be what it was, but someone else produced.
But
I don't know about that.
But isn't that producing?
Exactly. No, Beyonce.
It is, but not from origination.
Beyonce is a bona fide producer.
Yeah, isn't that production?
Everybody's a producer then.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like if we were in this room right now and I started making a beat and I got most of the beat completed, and you say, "Hey,
good grief,
you need to add it."
That's just the beat. I'm talking about the song.
Yeah, the whole song.
That's just the beat.
The whole song.
If you make a beat, you are a songwriter at that point. Until you actually produce a song, you're a songwriter until you produce a song. You wrote the music for the song.
That's right.
That's songwriting.
And so now
it's not producing. That's
so now she's like, hey, we need to tweak this here, add this here, put this in here. Hey, we need to bring these people in here to add this. Can you do this in this particular part?
I went to the restaurant the other day. I ordered, you know what I'm saying, some manicotti and ravioli. And then my server was like, well, you could change that to the butter sauce and you could add some.
And so you added more stuff when you got home?
When I put the more stuff on there, basically that meant that was no longer my server. She was now the chef because she actually helped to craft that.
I don't think that's the same.
It's not the same.
It's the same thing.
You want one right now, brother.
She added some stuff that wasn't already there.
So that's
what y'all saying Beyonce did, right? She added some stuff that wasn't already there.
I'm talking about producing.
But that's how most of it happens, though.
So it was either a chef or a producer.
No. So that's what I'm asking in this sense. For her to be listed at number 6, right? Is she in the realm of someone that is producing the song itself, like how we would envision?
She is, but I think that I think artists should be phased out of this list.
That's messed up. Phasing out artists is crazy.
Because some artists are producers.
Jermaine Dupri. Ed Sheeran is a producer.
No, I'm talking about artists that do what Beyonce and Taylor Swift do when they
he put their name on the record.
So he just basically want to get rid of the one black female that's on. That's what B on right now. I said
Taylor
at.
Too.
But she's not in the top 10.
But she's on the list.
So
though.
You attacking I'm only black female?
I'm only looking at the top 10. But she's on the list too.
That's hurtful, man.
That's not what B's.
That's hurtful.
I don't think that's what he's doing.
I ain't studying what he's talking about. I ain't studying, man. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
Come on, man.
That Beyonce does produce. I don't want to take that because I know what it means to produce. I know what it means to. I'm real passionate about producing versus beat making too. I'm very passionate about that. And I do believe that Beyonce calls the shots on her record. She has the vision for her record. She knows what she wants. She selects the beats herself. And she has them. She'll make stuff change. You know, she pretty much produces with the producer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight up.
And that's I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is because they see Beyonce as the artist.
We should call S1.
That's crazy.
We should call S1 because S1 has worked with.
Like, it's crazy because I know,
we know.
Me and you did a record together, right? And you came to me and you was like, this the track I got right here. Boom. And then I was like, man, love that. Boom. We started doing the song. The song is now done. And I'm like, B, what do you think about if we took these drums and did something a little different with the drums right here? And then what if we dropped out right here where I come in with that? If we dropped that out, that'd be dope. And you'd be like, yeah, I like that. All right, so I'm going to add this to the beat. I'm going to drop that out. You still doing all the stuff, but these is my ideas, right?
That's still still production, though.
And then
sort of.
And then
but that's still in the realm of production.
You see me in an interview with B over here, I'm like, B, when I produced this record, I knew I had something special. When I put when I started, you know what I'm saying, getting in my theory on that record.
You helped write the song.
I
produced it.
That's right.
This is why I have a problem with
but I'm the producer though.
You helped write a part of the song.
How you gonna feel about that when I start telling B?
But there's multiple parts that
I produced the record.
But there's multiple parts that underline the whole process of production.
How you gonna feel about it?
Who's in charge of the record? Because that's why I have a problem.
That's what it all depends.
I have a problem.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's in charge.
A problem.
She's in charge.
So a lot of times with multiple names on production credits, because who's got the final say?
That's right.
Like production to me is like building a house. Okay, a home builder. I may have the dopest guy who know how to build decks. You're a deck builder. I'm gonna have you build this deck for me because
you the GC.
The
general contractor.
Whoever oversees
it is the producer. And technically you could have more than one person oversee it, but most of the time no. Right. But you could sometimes. So you got like I think Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis probably are partners in production, right?
Yep.
And you can name them, you know, Cool and Dre, etc. But for the most part, when you got 5-6 names, no, these are all people who contributed to the writing of the music, who produced the song. And a lot of times it is the artist or the engineer is the one making the decisions, putting it on how the song will go.
Because it doesn't just encompass the person who's actually writing the song.
But that's not
the actual beat
that's
itself.
Neither here nor there. Back to the topic, though. I don't want to.
No.
That's a whole soapbox right there.
but that's
soapbox.
Yeah, but none of us are wrong.
But you got to think about that in the context of production.
Yeah,
from the start
can't even make
to
that
the end.
list. If that's the case, you can't make that list
from the start to the end.
You got to nuance it. You got to really figure out. Okay, because are we talking about the best beat? Who make the best beats?
The best beats,
musicians.
Yeah, but then what if she say, "Well, I changed the beat. We collaborated on that beat. I changed the snare, and I asked him to change the tick pattern."
Yo, it reminds me.
That's part of the songwriting of the beat. That's the making of the track itself, right? There's other components that go into just the creation of the actual track.
I'm just saying, I tell you to do a dropout in one spot, and I told you to add a sound.
Now
and
that's
now
the
I'm telling
only
people
thing that they're doing. If that's the
and now
only
I'm on
thing,
the list, and you not.
Well, if that's the only thing that person's doing, then I don't think that.
But now I'm on the list.
Entirety is production,
and you not. How you feel about that? You know, you brought that track to me.
Now, if that's the case, then I probably have an issue with that. If that's the scenario,
but I did make changes. No, I'm sorry.
No.
I did suggest
if
changes.
If
I didn't
just
physically
said,
make any of them. You made all of them.
If you just said replace the snare, and then you took all the production credit,
to me,
no, not all the production credit, but think about that. None of those records Beyonce produced by herself.
To me,
well, I don't think any of them on this list produced the albums by themselves. I can tell you for a fact, Max Martin didn't produce all the albums by himself.
I mean, most of
I know that he didn't, because a lot of stuff he collaborated with Dr. Luke.
Yeah,
because Dr. Luke was his protege.
Well, and then they always were bringing in instrumentalists and that. But then that's the other thing too. Is this crazy world of producers saying that when instrumentalists come in, that they produce that too, because you got I picked this part and I put that part together, and there is a skill to that as well.
Yep. And so you may have entities that are the sole producers of it, but when there's collaboration, I mean, they are producing the record itself.
Yeah, and so how do you feel as the producer who literally you were the one who
if I made the
banged on it or you clicked on it or you whatevered, and I just gave my conceptual ideas, and now I'm on the list of top 10 and your name is not even in sight. And you know that you physically did the work.
I'm number 12. She's number 6.
Because you may have only had them records with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I had them with 5 other people also, which was enough to get me in the top 10 on the list.
Yeah.
And so now my name is ahead of yours. I'm basically standing on your shoulders.
But who is making all of the decisions regarding the production?
Yeah, I decided that you was going to drop the beat in that one spot.
Then that's who the person is.
You was going to add the ticks in another spot.
Is the producer of the record?
music. You deserve songwriting credit.
I wrote the music. I created the track. But how did we produce this entire record?
And so you okay with that?
If I only wrote the song,
you okay with calling yourself a producer? Me coming in and collaborating with you on a record, and then me taking producer credit.
Well,
us sharing producer credit.
Well, that would be a co-production credit in that sense.
So
I think it's a co-writing credit. I don't think it's a production credit.
It may just be co-writer credit though.
In the BMI stratosphere, they don't use the term producer or songwriter. They use author and composer.
They do. And that's
because
just the terminology
you can be a
that
composer,
right?
And that means that you could have contributed to all encompassing parts. You could have contributed to the melody.
Yep.
You could have contributed to the lyric.
Yep.
You contributed to the entire composition. But that still don't make you a producer.
And that's the question: is what makes a producer?
She don't have no business on that.
What
But,
makes
I mean,
the
you could
producer?
say, hey, if you got the money to write the checks, then you can be on whatever list you want to be on.
And that's the thing, right? Because Quincy Jones was a producer.
The fact.
Yeah.
Did he play all the instruments? No, he hired
No.
Bill and Jim and
Right.
Frank and all these people
100%.
to come in and do it. But Quincy,
But a lot of times Quincy told him what to play.
He wrote a lot
Yeah,
of
but he did
literally
write a
wrote
lot of music.
Yes.
himself.
he did.
Yes. He wrote it and then told them to play it.
Remember, he's a
I mean,
composer.
because we do know the history of Quincy Jones and how that
much-
whole thing started.
How much
out.
she write? How much music
We don't know.
you think she composed for somebody else? to
Well, I don't
play?
think she could actually compose the music to write the music herself. I just thought it was interesting that Beyonce was on the list as a producer. When you actually look at everybody on the list, they actually are individuals who are sitting behind the board making the actual.
I don't know why
beat
they would do
itself.
that. I don't. Why would you do that?
She's the only one that's in the top 10 that we know we've seen Timbaland make beats. We know we've seen Jermaine Dupri make a beat. We know we've seen, at least I've seen Max Martin, Dr. Luke make actual beats, actual music. But that is only one part of it. And so when we're thinking about producer in that respect, we're thinking about people who actually make the music, not the person who does everything else in regards to the shaping and formatting and vision for the actual record itself.
And then shout out to Beyonce for being that active of a role in
her
making
music.
of her music. I think we were talking in here one time before where I was saying that like Whitney Houston never wrote a song. All of her songs, were written by somebody else or covers of someone else's songs. But to be an active portion of your catalog creatively to the point where you would be on that list is huge in itself. But I do think it's kind of an undercutting to the true producer as we have known it for the last 50 years.
That's why I thought was interesting. I just thought that was interesting.
I don't think Quincy Jones would have been okay with her being on that list.
Maybe.
It's just a hunch.
I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all tell us what y'all think in the comments, man. Like, because I just thought that was very interesting that she was on the list, listed at number 6.
Yeah, no, that's dope that she
she
has
is.
positioned
I just thought it was
herself
interesting
for that. But that's nasty work.
It's nasty work. Be like,
Yeah.
we call it whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be agree.
I mean, I think she shouldn't be on the list, but it's kind of difficult because I do think she produces.
I think she produces.
Because it's her. Here's the thing: a lot of artists produce, they don't get the credit, but Beyonce has the leverage to make her name get on there.
You got that right.
Because a lot of artists, you know what? Nah, man, I want my song to sound like this. Like Jay-Z famously with Premier Beats, Jay-Z and Premier working together. Jay-Z will pick the samples. Okay, I want you to sample this record, Primo, and he'll go sample it. That's kind of like, that's a production activity.
Yeah, element.
Picking the sample. Okay. So a lot of artists do that. I remember Eminem started producing because he's with Dre producing, and Em is making. And Dre said, you're actually producing right now, right? Oh, really?
And that's why Eminem got a whole bunch of production credits.
So let me go ahead and start producing for real. So a lot of artists do that, but a lot of artists don't have the cachet.
Right. That's why I said shout out to her for that.
So I don't know, man.
To be able to put herself in that position.
It's just interesting that I was just like, okay.
I mean, who else is doing that from an artist perspective other than Taylor Swift? But again, Taylor Swift can play an instrument. Ed Sheeran can play an instrument.
I mean, your voice is an instrument.
Okay, so if you came with the song idea first, that's fine. But she stopped playing.
I don't know, man.
I'm just
Come on now. Don't do that.
A lot of folks was named.
It'd be different if Beyonce was handing out voice memos to people like, I wanted to go like this.
But she don't.
No, but she do not. I'm not saying she never has.
How you know she don't?
I'm saying she never has.
There's a lot of people who write songs for Beyonce.
Let me tell you something.
Again,
it's an embarrassment. If you're Beyonce, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Usher, it's an embarrassment of riches that you have basically every song ever made by anybody who wanted to have an R&B song on a male or female artist at your disposal. That's why Chris Brown has albums that have 20 and 30 and 40 songs on them, is because he has the pick of the litter for probably 13 years in Atlanta, everybody in Atlanta was only writing songs trying to get on the Chris Brown and the Usher project. There were no other projects that mattered.
It's a fact.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
And so how do they not have fire songs? They got fire records because they had the pick of every single writer who ever aspired to do a relevant piece of work.
That's right.
Same is true for Beyonce.
That's right. I mean, Chris Brown's not on the list. And the reason why I say that is because
hey, shout out to Chris Brown.
He has a whole bunch of records.
Shout out to Chris Brown.
A whole bunch of songwriters, whole bunch of producers that produce a lot of stuff on it. But
there's several albums where Chris named, and that may be not a good thing. Maybe somebody told him he need to do business differently. Exactly. But like I know writers who have written songs for Chris Brown in the past who Chris's name is not on the writing credits. Yep. He let them have all their writing credits. Now I also know writers who've written songs with Chris Brown recently that they never even met the dude, and he sang the record and kept their background vocals, and he still put his name on the writing credits. So he just doing business differently now.
Hey,
but you know,
by ChatGPT.
Yeah. Now it's to the point where when the money get funny, everybody want their name on everything to get a piece of every aspect of the business.
Yep.
And like you said, if you get to the point in your career where you have that kind of leverage to do that, B say it all the time: leverage is everything.
Leverage is everything. And if you got the leverage to say, "Hey, I'm making these decisions, and I'm going to be listed as a producer on here."
Yeah.
So, and so here's the thing, though. But as we end and close, put a bow on this thing. The last thing I want to say is this: yes, there may be a moment when she's working with Boy Wonder, or Hit Boy, or S1, or whoever on a song. But when you think about how many of them went into the Hot 100, she was a producer on all of them, where Hit Boy may have been a producer on one.
Yes.
Or S1 may have been produced on one.
So that's what I was saying.
She's producing on all of them.
Yeah.
So every number one hit single that she had is on, that's on Hot 100. She has a production credit for, because she worked closely with the producer.
Cheat code almost.
Yeah, she worked with the producer to say, "Hey, this is how we're going to structure this entire record."
She said, "Ooh, that song hot." Producer credit.
You may have only worked with her on that one song.
Give me that.
But she got a
that don't mean
plethora.
Her contribution was significant in that
and
way.
That's the thing.
It just meant that her team was intelligent enough to say, Beyonce, you need to have your name. You need to be on a production credit on this record.
But as we close it out, is there a allocation of how much you need to contribute to the record to say that you received a production, that you're a producer on it? And besides from like the splits and how much you get from a songwriter.
Who's in the mixing room when they mixing it? Is she in there like,
maybe
okay, I need a drop right here. I want this to come in, like the structure of the song.
Probably.
I think, like you said, they need to call it something different. To me, it's not production. It needs to be a different category.
I think it's production. I just think
it's composing. It's the complete composition. And so that means you could have touched the music, you could have touched the writing, you could have touched the sequencing, you could have touched the structuring. That's the entire composition. I think you could give composition credit, but I just feel like everybody who took the time to go get that sample, figure out the tempo, figure out how to pitch it, figure out where to cut it, then put that down, then had to figure out what beat sounds actually worked with the sample, took the time to put that beat pattern down.
But isn't that composing though?
That's producing.
It's part of producing, but technically...
Well, it's not composing because you don't have a song to it yet. You're just creating literally the basis of what the song is going to be.
You're writing the music. And composition was writing the music.
Like, I think Beyonce produces the record. She's a record producer.
Yeah. Y'all tell us in the comments as we close out for the night.
It's not an easy discussion.
Y'all tell us in the comments.
It's not a black and white discussion.
What it is.
But I think my view is that like building the house, man.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of this house being built. I'm gonna hire people to do certain things in the house that I can or can't do maybe.
And I'm gonna tell them what they know what they're supposed to do.
Do you call it producing though?
Yeah, I'm building the house.
I'm building the house.
Producing means to make. I'm making this house. I'm producing.
I
I'm
may not. I
building.
may not be putting the actual foundation and the wood and all that in.
Like an executive.
But
So
I'm
what
telling
do
you
you
what you're
call the
supposed to do.
person who just did the music?
A songwriter.
They're a songwriter. I mean, we
Songwriter.
know that's how.
No
they,
lyrics, just the music.
Yeah,
That
we know
person-
that's when they go register. They register as a
it's the
songwriter.
words and it's the music. It's all songwriting.
When you go register,
you wrote the music.
When you go register the song in ASCAP, because BMI calls it something different. What is BMI asking you who you are? I mean, ASCAP songwriter. I mean, that literally is you the songwriter. Yes, I wrote the music.
So
it's 200%.
technically though, in ASCAP and BMI is specifically in regards to the publishing on a song.
True.
So the publishing itself is a correlation to the lyric and melody.
But when it comes to the music,
unless there is
no
lyric, then it becomes the instrumental composition.
But you're still listed as a songwriter though for it. Like we were working on a song, like y'all worked on a song with Ashley. Whoever helped produce is listed as when y'all did y'all's registration. I don't know how they did the registration, but whoever they are with, ASCAP or BMI, how do they go in and register the song for them? Did they put, because they're going to ask them, are you the songwriter? Like, so when
So is that the only option in ASCAP? Is songwriter? What's the alternate? Because if that's the case, why are they even asking you what you are? If it's only songwriter.
It asks you, are you the songwriter? I have to actually go look.
And BMI, it's author?
Because I got BMI. But I do know what ASCAP.
It's author or composer.
In BMI, it asks you if you're the author or the composer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you're saying it's only... We need to find that out.
Yeah, we need to find that out. We'll find it out.
Because literally that PRO is in relations to the
publishing.
The lyric.
Yeah. But it asks you.
Or the if it's, if it doesn't have lyrics, then the melody, the composition of the melody. But it's not actually in correlation to the production, because the production is separate from the publishing in that respect. That's why producers get advances and writers don't.
You can have me go look up
if you see a producer's name with a writing credit, then that producer either negotiated that, like Beyonce does,
if you're,
or they actually did co-write the song.
It says, are you a writer or a publisher? Writer share, publisher share.
Which are...
That's what it's asking. Are you the writer? Are you a writer or a publisher?
Yeah, so...
And if I'm a writer...
Because in theory, those are the only options.
Only options. And if I'm a writer, I wrote the composition music.
Yes.
So
or the lyric. They're
lyric.
It's all one.
It's all one. Because either a writer or a publisher. Which one are you? I'm looking at the screenshots of online work registration. And it says, remember, it tells you got to put the name of the working title. And then remember that writer share must total 50% and publisher share must total 50% to make up the 100%. So which one are you? Are you a writer or are you a publisher?
That's
and then,
interesting.
For membership, the only 3 memberships they have is a writer, publisher, or writer and publisher.
Right, because PROs are only for song, in theory, for songwriters, but if you are not producers.
But if you are a writer is someone who creates a musical composition, the melody, harmony, lyrics, arrangements, beats, etc. That is coming directly from ASCAP's website.
Producers. Every producer,
if you made a beat,
every producer
you're a writer.
Should have BMI, ASCAP, or CSA, or whatever. Every producer is supposed to have one of those.
You should.
Every single last one. Even if you don't write any words at all, because melodies.
That's only if you've negotiated a publishing share, though. Like that would be the equivalent to points for a producer.
Absolutely, you're supposed to though.
They don't. They don't all.
But they should.
Because otherwise,
most of them don't.
Otherwise,
you can look up.
That's
Ari talks about it in the book.
That's insane. If you don't.
For example, I'm trying to think of how you could search it and give you the explanation. Basically, if you give me a beat and I write a song, then I register that song as the songwriter.
But you only register 50%. You only register your.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's all mine.
It can't be.
It is because you did not contribute to the songwriting. You gave me it's in the book. It's literally in the book that you just
the music.
Google
is
it.
The song.
Yeah, because you know what? We're gonna come back with this, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
music is
Google it.
No, we coming back. We coming back with it. We got you.
no, but the
On the
music,
next episode, we're gonna talk about
Stay
it.
tuned.
Stay tuned for the cliffhanger to find out.